Welcome to the debate of the week, and this is about Daniel Bryan and Miz. Look, I know a lot of people are happy to see Daniel Bryan and Miz having a feud, but I'm going to be honest to you. As it stands now, the feud is going to suck. What's about to happen at SummerSlam is going to damage their feud, and you're not going to be happy. Now, let me elaborate on that. How can I explain this? In pro wrestling, when it's done right, you're supposed to build someone up who has not been seen wrestling for a while, either due to injury, either being banned from the company, either being not able to be with the company because they've been released. It makes no difference. When they're away and they come back, you can give them a great opening, a great debut coming back, but you got to build them back up to make them interesting so they will be important later down the line. Now, when it comes to Daniel Bryan, you didn't get that. Daniel Bryan, everyone was... Well, let me step back a little bit. Once Daniel Bryan announced that he is now finally cleared to re-enter the ring, everyone went manic. They said he's going up against Shinsuke Nakamura. He's going up against AJ Styles. He's going up against Seth Rollins. He's going up against Dean Ambrose. He'll go up against... Well, Drew McIntyre, you could say that. But I think a lot of people want to see him go against Dolph Ziggler again. Because he did wrestle him a couple of times. It makes no difference. There were so many people. But then the most important thing people wanted was him to restart him and The Miz's incredible rivalry. We know these guys got a rivalry. They just have this natural kind of heat. Maybe in actuality, they don't like each other. But they respect each other enough as actual wrestlers that, hey, they can do business. They may not like each other in real life, but they can actually really do some business. No problem. But here's the thing. The WWE does not know how to book them. They went on the gorilla position, both of them at different times, pretty much saying they're not sure about how creative is going to make this work because creative has not been doing well, which I think got them both in a little bit of heat in the back. I'm sure the WWE brass in the back said, Miz, Bryan, come here a minute. You guys don't do that again. If you have a problem with us, talk to us. Don't ever do that again. So I think that might have happened. That's why they're in this feud. Because this feud is literally, as it stands, the way it's been booked, to kind of hurt the credibility of their feud. Let me elaborate. Once Daniel Bryan came back, you would expect, well, maybe there's something he's got to do with The Miz. Miz TV, The Miz calls him out. And instead of having someone special come out to make it important for The Miz to build up into their feud, no, he's by himself. Daniel Bryan, you would think he would deal with someone working with The Miz. No, he works with Big Cass, who should have been working with The Miz and should have been the one in front of Daniel Bryan to make sure he could not touch The Miz. Still the same storyline. He feels like he's not cared about because at the same time he came back, Daniel Bryan came back and everyone just basically forgot him. That would have been a great catalyst for The Miz as well as Big Cass to have problems with Daniel Bryan. And the thing that should have been done, Daniel Bryan should have been losing from the day he went to his first match. No, better yet, before his first match, he should have got his ass beat down by Big Cass. Then he should have gotten beat by Big Cass once, twice. The Miz helps him 3 times. The Miz helps him 4 times. The Miz helps him 5 times. And keeps interfering with matches between Daniel Bryan and Big Cass. Building up into it. Eventually, Daniel Bryan finds a way to get back at Big Cass and wins once. Still has a problem with The Miz interfering with other matches he does. But then again, beats Big Cass twice. And again, as Daniel Bryan is trying to get some type of match for the US title, for the tag titles, for the WWE title, The Miz interferes. Big Cass interferes. A third time, Big Cass goes up against Daniel Bryan And something happens where Daniel Bryan does get over on Big Cass. And then finally, one last match between Big Cass and Daniel Bryan to make it even. And that would be a stipulation that if Big Cass lose, he goes to Raw. Of course, Big Cass got actually released from the WWE, but they could have even booked it that way, that if he loses, he's out of the company. And that would have done something for Daniel Bryan, where he could have easily been given a position that could give us something special. And from there, he can go up against Shinsuke Nakamura after Randy Orton has his feud with him, after Jeff Hardy has his feud with him. He goes up against Shinsuke Nakamura. He wins the US title after about a couple of months dealing with Shinsuke Nakamura. And he holds that title for a while until The Miz interferes and makes him lose it. Tries to get it back, The Miz interferes. So they don't go after each other yet. An opportunity comes up where Daniel Bryan can go after the main title. Or team up with someone for the tag titles. And I would say go to the tag. And then gets the titles with somebody. Doesn't have to be Kane, someone else. He holds it for a couple of months. The Miz causes Daniel Bryan to lose that title. And then he tries to head off to the world title. Where by the time this happens, it would be Royal Rumble. And even though The Miz interferes, guess what? Daniel Bryan does win and gets to have the world title. But also, The Miz goes into the Royal Rumble, and guess what? He wins the freaking Royal Rumble, and now you have a reason to have them both together. A perfect redemption story for Daniel Bryan, where he comes back, he gets his ass handed to him multiple times with help of The Miz and Big Cass, and then builds up into him going to get revenge on Big Cass, get the US title, loses it, gets the tag titles and loses it, and then eventually he gets the world title, defends it at Royal Rumble. The Miz gets into the Royal Rumble, he wins the Royal Rumble, and then it culminates into WrestleMania 36. This is what we should get. A good story that gives us progression. What do we have? The Miz arguing about Daniel Bryan being back and he's on his coattails. Big Cass basically having a feud with Daniel Bryan and losing. Yes, he beats him up after the match or before the match, but when it's time to have the match, he loses. Twice. Then he's out, which is part of the story of him about to leave the company. And from what I understand, he might have been actually hurt, but in the end, he's gone. Then Daniel Bryan has a couple of chances to try and get the world title. Doesn't really get that far. And now we got this, which is lackluster and boring. Zero interest. And I know people are so happy, but you tell me, what do you actually have from Daniel Bryan and The Miz right now? Yes, The Miz is doing great work. Yes, the Daniel Bryan's doing great work, but does that mean the feud is good? No. This feud is not good. And it should be built up properly, and the WWE either is purposely ruining it, or they don't know how to book the damn thing. But this is just my point of view. You guys tell me below. Tell me if you think I'm an idiot for not understanding feuds, particularly with The Miz and Daniel Bryan. But this is just my point of view. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.